Welcome everyone back to a brand new episode of Busted Musket Productions Animazing, the anime show that I swear we haven't forgotten about. I just went through a small emergency for the last, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. No thanks to Lewis, I was locked in a closet by a kindergartner and no one came to help me.
Well, hey, I just thought you were in the path of self-discovery and you just discovered your new purpose in life. So I was like, hey, what kind of buddy would I be if I were to rob Danny of that experience?
You saved me? I wasn't asking to be saved, Lewis. I wasn't asking to be saved.
I could see it like that, man. I'd be like, oh, I see.
No, unfortunately, I didn't get I didn't get a character that seemed malicious but was actually benevolent. No, this one was just this was basically a kindergartner from Future Diary, which is to say fucking crazy.
Oh, like that one kid, that one guy with the puppets.
Yeah, like the literal little kid with the puppets that they adopt and then they end up having to kill him.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, Future Diary, this is some fucked up shit.
I know, I remember. Dude, now that I look back at that show, I was like, oh, fuck. Dude, I remember when I first watched that show, I was like, dang, this is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And now that I watch it back, I was like, holy shit, there's some fucked up stuff that goes on here. What the hell was I on?
Right? I know, that was my thing too. It's like, I really liked this show. And then when I was watching it again, I was like, I can never tell people that I liked this show. This is so freaking weird.
It is, man. Dude, and by the way, I reread that book again. Last night, just because I had time.
Yeah.
And I was reading it while listening to lo-fi hip hop hits, because that's what Josh does. that just made the experience that much worse. Because reading the whole time, reading all these sad, all of a sudden just a bunch of sad tracks start playing, and I'm like, the fuck.
Yep. It knew what you were reading. It's like, what is it? It's like, oh, you're reading a somber story. Well, we'll go ahead and make it really sad. But yeah, in case you guys are wondering, well, I mean, we're still kind of behind. I have a few episodes edited and ready to upload. I just gotta upload them when no one's there because I think it's gonna slow down my Wi-Fi like a motherfucker. That's why I don't do it.
Alright, then you spared yourself of being kidnapped by me because I was gonna lock you in that room.
No! Plus, that room's not comfortable anymore. There's a bunch of things in there.
No, we just put a bunch of things in there.
Exactly.
We just made it uncomfortable.
Exactly. Though you do have an actual closet in there, but that also looks very cramped.
Yeah, but that closet doesn't have a door at all. So it's it defeats the purpose.
I thought it did.
No, it doesn't.
No? Oh, that is weird. Yeah, no, that does defeat the purpose. You're just gonna have to you're just gonna have to buy a door for the closet, but it's just a cage. Like a see-through cage. But anyway, no. We just have the typical thing that happened when I first got my job. The job just flat out took over everything and was like, okay, we're going to just straight out take, you're working these days, you're working these days, and they just never matched up well.
I know. Dude, same for me. So that's why we've been having trouble meeting up for recordings of anything. It's just because I've gotten a lot more work hours for the summer, just because Lewis needs money for Crunchyroll.
Yeah, same here. I'm actually going to ask them on Saturday because my boss is scared to give us 8 hours because he's afraid we're not going to punch out on time. And no, he is right to do that because I know a couple of people at my work that do that. Because all you got to do, in case you people don't know, if you have an 8-hour shift, just go over a minute, punch out a minute late, and then you get paid overtime.
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
It's funny because I rarely ever get on time either.
Yeah.
And that's usually mainly because my manager asks me to stay longer. That's why sometimes I rarely ever get to respond to you as soon as possible.
Yeah. Is it 8-hour shifts though when you punch out late?
Yes, because mainly. Especially if I'm working the evening, sometimes if I get out early, they ask me to stay out a little later just to close, just because there's not enough people out in the loading zones to close, and I'm like, yeah, sure, money.
Oh yeah, no, I completely get that. But yeah, if your boss makes you wait a little after your 8-hour shift, then that makes sense because at least he knows he's giving you overtime, and it's
especially when my boss is a she.
She, my bad. Ooh, it's funny because like I've had female bosses. My first boss was a female boss, and it's only now that I do have a male boss.
The only one thing about my boss is she scares me because like when we first met her, she's openly said that she loves playing pranks on her workers sometimes.
Oh no.
So like she'll sometimes like make it seem like we're getting fired, but she's just gonna tell she's just gonna tell us to like do trainings or something.
I hate when they do that. I had a boss. No one liked her, but I had a boss that did that too. She would never tell you why you're being sent to the office. She would make it sound very dire, and then she just kind of would say, "Oh yeah, you're doing a good job, and by the way, I need you to do this." I'm like, "You bitch." I know you've been trying to get rid of me, so you're just messing with me now.
I know.
I'm glad I'm not dealing with it anymore. That was a mind game I couldn't work. But yeah, no, we it was eventually getting to the point where I'm like, if our schedules don't match up this week, I'm just calling a day off. When you have a day off, I'll just call a sick day off, which is not a good idea because I too need money for Crunchyroll Expo. Even though I was at AX for like one day.
Oh, you went from TAX?
Yeah, my whole plan was I'm gonna go on Sunday and just walk around and look at the cosplayers. And then my friend Daniel was watching the.
There you go again, speaking in the third person.
That explains why the badge came out of my account. No, he was watching the Girls World Cup.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yo, if you want my pass, you can just meet me at Tom's Urban and take it." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah!" So I went. I didn't buy anything because again, I shouldn't. But I was just kind of walking around, and I was at the exhibit hall, and I was mainly trying to look for some cosplayers and online personalities that I really like and wanted a photos with. And I was even kind of like stalking one, but they were like posting and then leaving, and I'm like, fuck. So I gotta kind of hope they're still in this general area. Didn't run into them though. And then I didn't go to like the other exhibit hall, the one where all the cosplay stuff is. But now I wish I did because apparently there was like a shit ton of Alita stuff over there.
Yes, and the only thing that I regret not why I didn't go to Crunchyroll this expo this year is because like Azure Lane did their own appearance there, and then like the other game I played, which was Honkai Impact 3. They also did their thing. They even had a freaking stand of like one of the bosses you fight, and I was like, And apparently they weren't selling anything. So like everything that they had at their booth, if you just showed them your game account, how far you were in the game, and if you completed one of the events in the game, which I had, then you would have gotten a bunch of free stuff, including like posters, a pillow, some keychains, and a chance to win like I think some money.
Yeah. Damn.
So like they weren't selling anything. They were just there to like give free stuff to people who play the game. And I was like, what the hell? It's like they better show up to Crunchyroll Expo. Like I'm down. I want them to show up down there.
They got it. Like Crunchyroll is so fairly small, so I know that's why Crunchyroll's trying everything in the power to get like really intriguing people over there now. Like again.
Flow.
Yeah, like how you said, Flow, the band that made like the Code Geass openings and the Naruto openings. They also, like you said, last year they got Adam Savage, which I had no idea was a part of the anime community.
He is, man.
Yeah.
And like, cosplay community to be exact.
Oh yeah, cosplay community.
Yeah, cause the thing that for last year, like he was a special guest because he was gonna be doing because he did like a lecture on cosplaying and like why what got him into it as well. And like when I was seeing the video, I was like, I would have just been crying the whole time if I was there physically.
Yeah, and then you said they're gonna have like a Junji Ito museum.
Exhibit, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna have like an artist gallery, an exhibit of just pure of all his works from the past and everything. So you'll be able to see it. It's gonna be. I feel like they're gonna set it like they do like the Japanese museum where they did like the photographs of like of the internment camps.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be like that.
Yeah, it might be something similar to back in 2017 or 16, I think.
And Kira Buckland's gonna be there as a special guest too.
Oh, that's good for her. That means we can try to look for her then. In case you people are wondering why I sounded like that, it's because Kira is a pseudo friend of the podcast. She's mostly an acquaintance of Daniel, because she's like a friend. She's like dating a friend of his friend. and they like hung out one time. They did an escape room together.
Really?
Like, yeah, like Daniel and his friend and that friend's, and the friend and Kira. They all four of them went into an escape room, and that was like a few months, or maybe like a few months before Nier came out and blew up. And he was telling me a little after Nier came out, he's like, "Oh yeah, I actually did an escape room with her and had no idea it was her." And I'm like, "So you know someone who can get to her?" "Yes." Have them help us out. I want her on the podcast. And yeah, within like a month we had a
Oh yeah.
episode that a lot of you guys are mad. Not you. You are fine. But like Ben and Nestor were not happy.
I know. Well, Nestor because of Fire Emblem, and then Ben for everything else.
No. Remember, like 2B's his waifu too.
Oh, that's true.
You remember that was another time you guys let him borrow the game, and he like ended up bouncing between two of your copies. But yeah.
Oh shit, that's right. He gave him both of our copies.
Yeah. And then like I think you or Ben. I think it was Ben. Ben gave me his copy because I had to finish it for the interview, and then luckily I had beaten the main game, but I hadn't gotten to any of like the real heavy stuff yet. So when she was telling me, "Oh yeah, there's like ending E or D," and I'm like, "Well, how many fucking endings are in there?"
Yeah, there's pretty much those like the different endings, which would make the game sad.
Yeah, I think it was A, B, C, D. I think the game has like the main endings are A, B,
Five
C,
endings.
and D. Okay, so there are 5 endings.
A through E, yeah.
Okay, A through E. But then you have like the joke endings.
Which is the rest of the letters of the alphabet.
Yeah, which as I tell people, I unlocked those accidentally because due to me not knowing where to go. Like at the beginning of 9S's storyline, it was like, oh, okay, I gotta get down there. I jumped off the wrong side of the forklift, and it's all like 9S abandoned his mission, and I'm like, what? No, I didn't. I want to play that game again.
It was fun. And dude, speaking of games to be hyped, I'm actually kind of hyped for Code Vein.
Oh yeah, that's by the God Eater people.
Yeah.
God Eater 3 came out. Yeah. So.
And then Code Vein finally got a fucking release date like a couple weeks ago, so it's confirmed for September 29, 2019.
Let's see. I never trust those. But also, yeah, because that game I think was teased. Like, not even announced, but it was like teased in 2016, and it's just coming out.
Yeah.
Fucking Japanese games, man.
Because you know why? Because like apparently one of the reasons why is because like they got Ufotable to do more animations for the game and everything.
Oh.
Because like Ufotable was the one who was in charge of the trailer and everything, and then like they were trying to apparently they wanted the company to do more do more animations for in game just because of like the reactions the fan got when they saw the teaser trailers. They're like, Ufotable did this.
You know what's funny? I'm not really a fan of those FMV type games, like where it's like the game itself is a typical game, but like the cutscenes are with real people or like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't like, for some reason it like breaks the style for me. It shouldn't be like that for me in anime, but like I have had issues like that. But yeah, like overall I'm excited. I hope that game's good, but there's a lot of, starting next week, there's like a game coming out every week that I want to play.
I know.
We have Marvel Ultimate Alliance. We have Fire Emblem The Three Houses, which they're already saying it's going to be 80 hours plus to complete a house.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
80 hours and there's 240 hours.
Yeah. The someone already beat the game because they got like an early copy, and they're like, it took me 200 plus hours to beat the game, and that's not including the fucking DLC that's already here. Shit. And I'm like, oh my god. And after that, like, we're gonna go into August. No, actually, I think two games come out on the 26th, so that's already bad. But like August, that's when like Astral Chain comes out and Oninaki. Like it's a ton of stuff. So I'm just right now trying to finish everything I want to finish, because on my Switch I can't really play it now because the buttons are. I'm gonna say this right now. Never play a fucking fighting game
on the Switch.
On these controllers.
Oh, it's on.
Oh, they'll turn off in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Never play a fighting game on these fucking controllers. On the little, like, you know, the little removable ones. Because they will break. I made the mistake of playing Dragon Ball Fighters with these. And now this, what is it? Yeah, this just doesn't respond. It'll move on its own.
Ooh.
Yeah, it makes navigating really hard. So I'm going to trade these in and, like, buy another one. Because apparently these are like $80 to replace. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I know. It's more than a game. I'm like, fuck this.
Thank God I'm not a Nintendo fanboy.
I know. Well, I'm not either. I'm a fan, but I'm not a fanboy. I'm not like Ben, but that sounds like it's the only thing he's ever played.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
Which is why it's fun to make fun of him. I'm like, well, you guys are playing that. I'm gonna go and buy a real game. He's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, did Ben ever respond to you if he's down or not for August? Because I have not gotten messages from him.
Not Ben. Sorry, Jonathan.
Jonathan, yeah.
It was Jonathan that was that. No, I'm gonna text him. I keep telling him to fucking do it. I keep telling him to call you. Here, I'll fucking text him right now. So anyway, guys, sorry for the late start. This is already like 10 minutes in, I think 15 minutes in.
Yeah, this is mind you, we have not kept any contact at all this whole time, so this is the first physical contact we're actually in the same physical room.
I know we've like talked a little bit about the manga, but just like a little bit, because I like to keep that stuff blind, but like we talked a little bit there. And then we talked a little bit when we were trying to organize going to see Promare.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have some contact, but we don't have a lot, and that's kind of given what happens, with Foxy's show too, where it would like we're trying to talk about news, but then we just kind of talk about cartoons, which is why like up until contact just became impossible.
Yeah, because he's a personality now.
Yeah, he's an online personality now. Yeah, like up until contact became impossible, we were doing a cartoon show, and we had a couple of episodes. We had like 3 episodes, if you want to count the 2-part Ninja Turtles. We had them like the first episode was on SoundCloud. And then both of the Ninja Turtle episodes are on YouTube. So if you guys want to check those out. It's just us talking about season 1 of the 2012 show. Anyway, I don't have any musical opening for this because it is a manga we're talking about.
I just put the lo-fi hips I was listening to last night.
I was trying to think of like Out of the Closet. But then I think, wait, that's like a fucking 6-hour song.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't even know how we're gonna get to that. But yeah, anyway,
just put the Mirai Nikki OST.
No.
If it's in enough.
No. Shit, I'm trying to think of something somber we can play, like something absolutely. I don't know, let's see, trapped music. No, if I put in trapped music, it'll be like actual trap music.
I mean, you can play like the or like background music, like the one with the piano.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like, you know how we always kind of start this off with music? God, this is super. When did this come out? This is like super early 2000s.
7 o'clock in the morning and the rays from the sun.
I'll still never forget the Mad TV joke they had of this. Anyway,
that's perfect.
it was perfect, but it makes everything creepy. Anyway, we are talking about the manga adaptation because apparently there is like a light novel somewhere.
Yes.
But we're talking about the manga adaptation of Nisio Isen's, yes, because me and Liz can't go a few months without doing a Nisio Isen anything.
That's perfect. I'm still laughing at that part of the lyrics.
No, it's creepy.
It's like out of the window, I hear a voice that says "Good morning." You know, I'm like, oh, just replace window with a closet door, and you're perfect. You're on the wrong
Well, like the whole music video, he's singing from within a closet, so it's like him poking out between the closet blinds. But anyway, we are talking about Nisio Isen's story retold in manga form by Mitsuru Hattori.
Yeah. Mitsuru Hattori.
Oh, Mitsuru. I forget. I'm white.
No, you're good, man.
American.
You pronounce. You got you got all the characters there.
Yeah.
No, remember, I only have 2 years of experience. That's the only thing that separates us.
Oh yeah, that's true. But we are talking about Imperfect Girl, which is a manga put out by Vertical Comics, which, not to be confused, it's Vertical Comics. Actually, to be confused with DC's offshoot Vertical, who puts out like the Fairy Tail series and the older DC superhero comics that like no one ever really hears of nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a story. It's debatable right now. A lot of people have just kind of come to the conclusion that it's a self-insert story and not like an actual happening of what really did happen to Nisio Isin.
Mm-hmm.
But the story focuses on a 20-year-old amateur mangaka. Is that the target?
Because the way because he's not a member of Nisio Isin, like what did not describe himself as a mangaka, but more like as aspiring author.
Yeah, no.
So the one that comes up with the stories.
Yeah. He is the author, not the mangaka. I'm sorry, Japan, and I'm sorry, Nisio Isin.
It's okay. He'll be. It's alright. Crunchyroll. He'll be there in Crunchyroll to look for you to forgive him.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they invite him.
I thought that was the whole point.
Hmm?
I thought that was the whole point, is that he was gonna not have a panel, but do like signings, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking of Junji Ito. I thought it was gonna be Junji Ito.
Oh no, I don't know if Junji Ito will. I've never seen that guy do an appearance outside of Japan. I'm still waiting for like that fateful day where some American guy's gonna be crazy enough to try to adapt one of his stories and force Junji Ito out here. But yeah, even sometimes that won't even happen. Like Aelita was one of the rare cases where you actually see the creator of the comic walking around in the sets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's in the movie, but like I started watching the behind the scenes because they put it out on digital. And like, yeah, you just see him walking around and kind of like, oh yeah, I like what they're doing with it. But yeah, he's a 20-year-old in college.
Yeah.
Who's an aspiring author, but he kind of has the same issue that a lot of authors have, and that is he can't really find anyone to pick up its story because a lot of people, as of right now, don't know that he has not yet found a voice.
Exactly, because like like a lot of the times when he describes like he's just like looking back at it now in his life, like he's always like felt that as like his stories were always missing something like a special element that pretty much separates the pros from the amateurs, which is pretty much kind of like that spark or like that kindle that makes stories like feel like it's actually coming from him. And like I like the way he described it, because like what he says like pro like actual true authors actually tell stories, whereas like aspiring or like amateurs authors tell lies.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like it's coming from him specifically. It just feels like he's just trying to like put out something that's gonna get him like get him recognition at the time.
Yeah, and that's kind of the issue I feel that I have. It's like I have ideas for stories, but at the same time I don't really feel like they're not ready to come out or anything. And like seeing him go through the same thing. And again, this is a guy who I admire a lot. Like I fucking look up to this writer, thanks to all the pushing I've got to watch, Monogatari and then Katanagatari, which I would have never knew existed if it wasn't for you telling me, and having us do an episode on it. Still gotta watch his Goto, but he does have this very particular art style that is very avant-garde, but at the same time like direct. So Ooh. Oh, Yana. I wonder what's going on there. I'll check in a bit.
your lolly kidnapper has arrived, Danny.
Oh no! No, but she's saying she's dead.
Oh.
That's not how the story goes. Yeah, no, it says, I'm dead, all in caps. That might just be the last message I'll ever hear from her. Anyway, so, right, yeah, so it never comes off pretentious, but at the same time, it comes off as very unique.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people have accused Monogatari of being very pretentious because of how talky it is, but that's just the way he writes, you know?
And then, especially a lot of the things about Monogatari is like it's heavily dialogue based because like remember this is like what this is an adaptation of like a story that dude, when reading this book I was like, oh, the references, like at this point they're not even references, like is this how everything started?
Yeah, literally. So literally, there's one point, if I'm right.
It's in the third book, yeah, towards the end.
Yeah, oh yeah, here we go. He spends over 6 pages actually, just kind of going through stories that would eventually become his best-selling novels, and I love how you see like little references to Monogatari. At one point, you see a reference to Zaragoto, or something that I think was Medaka Box, right?
Yeah, I just don't know what this magical girl one is.
That's not a magical girl. I just realized what it is.
What?
She's holding a sword, and look at the hairline behind her.
Oh!
It's the 2 main characters.
Oh!
Yeah.
I would not have thought of that.
I just caught it right now. I'm flipping through the pages, and I'm like, wait, is that? Oh my god, yeah, it's the 2 main characters from Katana Gatari.
I thought that was a magical girl, and I saw it, I was like, hey, it's just talking about a magical girl, and something like that, and I'm like,
Has he ever done a magical girl?
That's what threw me off. And then this one, I've seen this one, but I forget the name of it.
That's Zeragoto, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, a boy who does everything he can to stay alive, relying on his voice alone, and a brilliant blue-haired girl who controls the world. Yeah, that's the main character from Zeragoto.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you for telling me that, because like it was bothering me all night again. And I was like, who is that? I know I've seen this before.
So basically, like, every major Nishio Isin story came out when, like, his kidnapper just got tired and he was, like, rocking her back to sleep because the world got too tough. Anyway, ignore all that for now. So, yeah, he has problems writing, and one day he's walking home from university and he witnesses 2 little girls walking across the street.
Ooh.
Yeah. And things quickly turn sour when a truck hits one of the girls, and not just hitting her, like turning her into mulch, like her head fucking pops off.
Truck-kun back at it again.
I know, right? Oh god, Truck-kun. I even hate that Truck-kun was in Pet Cemetery, except that was like 4-wheeler-kun. No, not 4-wheeler-kun, that was like a giant gas Truck-kun. But yeah, it's like one of the weird things that happens though is he witnesses the little girl like look at what happened, go back to a game, save the game, turn it off, put it back in the backpack neatly, and then quickly start screaming her ass off and running to her friend. And almost immediately, you as the reader and the main character himself is just like, is she psychotic? Like, is she feigning emotion right now?
Damn, man, dude, I thought of that for a second until they progress later on in the story.
Yeah.
Like when for me, I could tell she was not psychotic. Once in the first book, once he got in the closet.
Yeah, because what ends up happening is he sees her like as we think right now. He sees her feigning emotion, like feigning that she's scared, that she's sad that her best friend died. But like you see right here that, she's saving a game while people are already freaking out. And she sees him, like notice that. And he quickly just like walks away acting like he didn't see anything. And later that night, or the next day I think? No, yeah, it was like the next day because he's just riding his bike.
Yeah.
And then someone like throws a recorder at him.
And like when she gets stuck on his bicycle spoke, causing him to fall off.
Yeah. And then when he gets home, he feels like little pricking on his legs, and he just sees a little girl holding a knife, and she like escorts him to her house and like locks him in the closet. And you're right. One of the reasons you can kind of tell that this girl is not sociopathic is as soon as she got him in the closet, there seemed to be no plan after that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I'm going to put him in the closet and I have no idea what I'm going to do from here on out. Like, I ignore him. again, because we know this is kind of a thing that happens, we know how, like, meek and passive some Japanese people can be.
Yep.
And apparently, the character in here is one of them because he's just in there. He doesn't try to get out. I mean, he does a bit. He starts running through some ideas like, oh, she didn't take away my phone, so I can call the police, but at the same time, this doesn't seem like a typical kidnapping.
I know. And like one of the things he keeps telling himself when he's in the closet is like he comes up with like he keeps telling himself is like I was like, all right, I'll do it the next day, or I'll do it the next day, like I'll just see like where this goes, or like what's gonna happen after that.
Yeah.
So, because like one of the things like at the time when that he used as an excuse is that he just he didn't want things to like he didn't want to make a racket in society because he's one of those people that, like sad when he talks about his childhood, like he's always trying to blend in society the whole time. And he did mention it at one point. It's like, but wait, if I call the police, like, won't it look like I'm the perpetrator here?
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing too. Is he was also thinking, well, if this girl is smart enough to try to silence me so people don't find out about her, like, there's nothing stopping her from basically saying that she was raped by me and, I'm hiding in the closet because I'm trying to pass off that I'm the victim here. And it's for at least the first volume and a half, it's a really distressing situation because the girl is not really doing anything. She kind of, even at some point, if it's, despite the fact that she'll come home and say, I'm home, or, I'm leaving, and and he'll respond to her and say, okay, have a good day at school, or like, welcome home. Like, besides that, she has no interaction with him.
Mm-hmm. For like the first couple of chapters in the first volume.
Mm-hmm. And eventually he just learned that, like, I need to go to the restroom, and I basically can uplift the door, taking it off the rail. I went to the bathroom, and then I just put the door back and stayed there because, again, I kind of want to see where this is going, and I don't just want to escape and, like, figure out or something. Like, again, it's weird how I wouldn't really call it Stockholm Syndrome, but it was just, this is such a curious situation he was in. He just kind of wanted to see where it would go.
Yeah, and if anything as well, like just looking at his life, if anything, like it's kind of understandable just because, again, like just from what he described, he's kind of living a meek life of like, like constantly meeting with like with like editors and everything, but like never getting a chance to like get his novel published.
Yeah.
He was a good student where he was like really good at like writing essays and like answering free response questions, but other than that, like he really didn't find that much like joy in his life at the moment. So if anything, like this is maybe like one of those things where it's like, you know what, like this is probably like the most excited I've ever been in my life. Let's just see where this goes.
Yeah, as long as there's no torture stuff going on, I think I can mull it out for a few more days. But like, I even like how when she's escorting him to the house, and he's trying to rationalize it in like the funniest ways, thinking like, oh, this is a prank. And one of the more outlandish ones is an editor signed him on, wanted to sign a contract with him and like sent his niece to go and like recruit him at knife point.
Dude, that was funny. As someone I saw that and he was like, then he had to admit, it's like, okay, even I have to admit that's a little outlandish.
Yeah.
But you just see like on the corner, like you just see like it's like congratulations, like that's actually my niece.
Yeah.
And you're just laughing at him.
Yeah, it's like, boy, that would be something if that did happen, but we know there is something up. There's a weird thing going on here, and one of the good things, I don't know if maybe this is a thing covered in the novel, but in the manga, there are flat out little bits that they're focusing on this little girl who is simply called U, I think.
Yeah, and then not like Y-U-U, like just the letter U.
Yeah, and. Because again, like the whole premise of this is supposedly how Nishio Isin got into writing. But one of the interesting things I've noticed he did is he himself would never refer to himself by name, nor was his character ever just by a name. Mm-hmm. But
because like in the novel, he said like the reason why he put you is like just to keep
her identity safe.
Her identity, safe and private.
Yeah, which is already kind of giving you the idea that this might have happened, or this could have happened, or something. And and again, like if this situation happened to anyone, there would be ways to handle it. There would be ways to kind of, be wary if this happened, and all of those things that could have gone wrong during this happening. But we do get little glimpse of the girl at school, and they are ironically nothing all that memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's not psychotic, she's not a bully, she's not being bullied. She's just kind of living her life. People try to be friends with her, but they just find her a little too closed off.
Yeah.
And, it's not that she's ugly, because they do mention that she's popular amongst the boys. And again, this is like I wouldn't say grade school, maybe elementary.
Yeah, about elementary, because I remember she's like a... No, wait, no, so, never mind, the year system's weird in Japan, because like, what's years to them is pretty much grades to us.
Yeah. So, but like, with this character, she's not too small, and the way they draw her is a little too tall for someone like in grade school. Like, this isn't someone like Samugi's age. This isn't a toddler. This is
She's definitely a little older than that.
Yeah. I'd roughly say perhaps 8 or 9 at the best. But, she's smart. She is smart enough to know how to keep low, but she's also not capable enough to cook for herself.
Yeah.
Because as we're gonna cover soon, she's in as much as a dire situation than the main character in here is. And like, again, the teachers are even kind of like, we need to like talk to your parents, or like, what are your parents doing? And she's just kind of saying, she doesn't necessarily make up a lie. She just says they're busy, or they can't make it. And she's very, very careful to, just kind of come off as casual as possible.
Yeah.
Anything you want to bring up?
Well, a lot of the things and everything as well is like, especially like the first novel and everything, you kind of get a little bit of like, he kind of explains it a lot himself when he does the analysis and everything, but like you get to see like everything like you mentioned, like the story's not making her making it out to make her seem like like she's something evil or like a beast or something, like like he says like that he can like bravely fight and like get praised for it.
Yeah.
He's just making it seem more like this girl's like there's something wrong, like that's broken within her, but he doesn't know why. Like could it be like, especially when he talked about why he got locked in the closet. Because he says, he said like, I was like, yeah, it's like, I can see why she would lock me in the closet, because this is a popular method for parents to like, how parents would punish their kids.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he goes into, when he does his little like dialogue, like whenever he's like looking back at it, it's like, but like little did I know at the time, it's like, it never crossed my mind that like, locking children in the closet is also a popular form of abuse.
Yeah.
Which gives you a little hint of what's to come.
Yeah, like, okay, so like, quick side note, apparently that I'm dead message came because my friend Yana, who I've mentioned before on the podcast, her mom told her dad about her plan to come to America to visit, and the dad's just like, oh, well, what if she ends up eloping over there? And she's just like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
the Chuni movie. Oh, I love that movie.
I'm gonna have to watch that. Again, I love that series. But I haven't had time to watch the movie. I just got to watching. I got reincarnated as a slime.
Oh.
And I love that. I'm on the 3rd episode where they like domesticated the direwolves.
Dude, that show's also that's also another good show, man. I look at the halfway point and I still need to catch up with everything else.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did you catch up to Shield Hero?
I finished it. Shield Hero's the one I finished. I just need to finish Dororo now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same here. I stopped on that too. But anyway, what was I saying? Right. What were you saying? Right.
About like pretty much how like locking a child inside of a closet is like not only a popular form of punishment, but also like a well-known form of abuse.
Yeah, and one of like the things that happen again, because by this point he so kind of wants you to look at this girl in kind of a malevolent light. Mm-hmm. He tells her one day that he's hungry, So the next day she comes home with like bags of food, but they're like loose. They're like one bag is noodles and the other bag is like, food. It's not necessarily like well. So and she even oddly enough gives him like a carton of milk. So right when he's about to just eat because he's so hungry he forgot about formalities, the little girl like throws the knife in his general direction and says and starts screaming like say thank you, say thank you, say thank you, and just goes AWire, and then the manga ends and we open up with him saying like
Thank you for the meal.
yeah, thank you for the meal, and she's just like okay. And then closes the door on him and walks off. And at first you think, holy shit, this little girl is crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then you start to notice something. Because one of the days he, again, decides to leave the closet and walks around and, takes a look at the house. And he notices that there's dirty dishes, but there's not clean dishes. And there doesn't really seem to be any food.
Mm-hmm.
So all those mornings that he has her go into the other room, she's not eating like he thinks that she is. She's just sitting down, getting ready, and watching TV and going to school, and realizing that the reason she was so aggravated on the chapter before was because she's not eating.
Mm-hmm. Or she's not eating enough. Because like the one thing he realizes, like the one thing he notices was like she's not eating breakfast at all when she goes to school, and then and that's when he starts putting the pieces of the puzzle together. It was like wait, so she doesn't have any food at home. Does that mean like the only meal she ever gets in throughout the whole day is at school?
Yeah, and the reason she was so aggravated is because she's already so low on food that having to sacrifice her meal for one day, and not just that, I think it's like 3 days or 2 days, he just has the food all to himself until he puts it together.
It was just the one day.
It was just the one day? Oh, okay. Yeah, he puts it, he realizes that, she hasn't eaten, so she was just aggravated. She wasn't being mean, she was just like, if I have to give you my goddamn food, then I want to thank you for it, because I'm sacrificing. So on the next day, she, again, without even him saying he wanted more food, no, she just comes home and is about to offer up her food again, but this time he offers to share it with her, and even kind of has to push her a bit.
Yeah.
But that's that was one of the first times that you actually see this girl in a more fragile light.
Yeah, and then if anything as well, it's like you get to see like there's a little bit more to her than just like the psychosis, if anything. Now let me see if I can find that page. But one of the things again, like once you realize this and everything, like that's when he starts to really feel when he starts to feel guilty about it as well. Because again, he starts putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and he's realizes wait, she's a growing girl. It's like did I just really just take her did I just take her only meal of the day for her away from her?
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of starts to eat at him for a bit, and then he just kind of starts to reason with it and starts thinking about no wait, she's my kidnapper. Of course I don't have to feel guilty about this.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh no! All I was gonna say is, and he even does early on start to question the idea that he might have Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he hasn't been there long enough to get it.
Exactly. It's just been a day at that point.
Yeah. So it's it's general. It is in fact general just sympathy because he understands there is something deeper going on here besides a malevolent little girl. That isn't a malevolent little girl. He's dealing with someone who, again, as Lewis pointed out earlier, is just as broken as that is broken and doesn't seem to be in the right head of mind, but at the same time doesn't seem to be malicious. Oh, is this when he has a buy?
Yeah, when he gives her the money when he gives her the money to buy the groceries, and then she says she can eat what he has.
Yeah, I know. And again, the person who wrote this too, Mitsuru Hattori, I really like her art style. It doesn't really seem like a typical shoujo, typical manga art style.
It kind of seems a little bit of an older type.
Mm-hmm. And like I love the design for the main character, and I love the design for you, where it's a super cute little design, but at the same time when she's deadpan, it goes between this is obviously a cute little girl, but at the same time she knows how to draw in a way that does seem to make her look malevolent, or at least like in the middle. Like
Yeah.
like again, they don't want you to see her in this fragile light quite yet. But it is at the near the end of the manga, as Lewis is on right now, that he's just like, so she's not eating enough, and I'm worried about that for her. So, how much did he have? It was like 1,000 yen, right? Oh,
10,000 yen.
10,000. And what is that? Like $100 equivalent, I think.
10,000 yen. Yeah, about $100. It'd be like I'd say like it's like 80, 90 something dollars.
Yeah, that's a lot, and they do buy a lot, and
And like the reason why, and like that's how he rationalizes it, so she feels comfortable with it as well, because he didn't think of like he gave her the grocery list, but he didn't realize that she had to carry all that by itself, because like later on in the story she starts to realize she's taking a long while. It's like what if something happened to her? Like what if she got hit by what if she got lost, or like a malevolent adult decided to kidnap her as well?
Which I see the irony in that one.
that was the funniest thing. That was the funniest scenario too. It's like, dude, the kidnapper gets kidnapped.
Yeah. At least the kidnappee knows how to get out, but like it is a dark idea, because by this point, if I'm right, they do keep painting her in a more fragile light. We get some more additional scenes of her at school.
Yeah.
And again, just like her her being just as bad with people as he is.
Oh yeah, because that's one of the things he describes as to like why he like missed all those golden opportunities with the editors. Is like he just didn't know how to talk to people that well.
Yeah.
He's kind of awkward with people, if anything.
Yeah, well, at least he's better than the main character in I Am a Hero, where he kind of came off as a dick, and that's why none of the editors liked him. I also forget at one point he like ends up cleaning the kitchen for her.
Yeah. Oh no, that's in the last novel.
The last one, really? Because I see a scene right here where he's like washing dishes for her. Hold up.
Was he washing dishes, or did he just notice that the dishwasher was empty?
Oh, maybe then.
Because like I remember he was drinking out of the faucet because he couldn't find water, so he decided to drink water from the faucet instead.
Oh yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, you're right. It's an empty faucet.
An empty faucet that has not been wet or used.
Yeah, here it is. It's too early for the sink to be dry if she used it just this morning. Did she wipe it down with a cloth or something afterwards? Yeah, you're right. I got my volumes mixed up. But anyway, but anyways, yeah, he ends up just like starting to worry about her, and when she comes home, he does see just this little girl walking in with these two massive bags that are just scraping against the floor. And when she gives him the bags, and is about to eat, he obviously offers her, because one of the things he did was specifically tell her to buy 2 of everything that was on the list.
Yeah.
Unless it was something really big. But again, I even liked how he rationalized it. Like, I'm not really sure how to cook, and I don't even know if she will try to let me cook, so I need to buy something that's easy to make and easy accessible for someone her age.
And something that's like non-perishable, so that at least it could last them for a while.
Yeah. So, and again, like, her, because again, I bet this is just something her parents taught her. If it wasn't bought with your money, then you don't have any say to it. But she was incredibly, like you showed me in that volume, she was incredibly put off by the fact that he offered to share his food with her.
No, yeah, and like the reason why I went to that page and everything is because that face caught me off guard when I was reading through it.
Yeah, first of all, it's fucking adorable, and then second of all, it's a face that she hasn't made up until that point. It's her very signature, very looking deadpan face.
Exactly, and then like all of a sudden you just see that, and that legit just caught me off guard when I read it. I was like legit just spit out of laughter. I was like, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of face is that? It reminds you of like, what does that face remind me of?
Kudere face?
No, like the one that she makes. Like the one she makes when he offers her food.
Oh, fuck, I forget.
This face, because like there was a similar reaction where like it made me laugh a lot as well, but I don't remember where I saw it.
I'm trying to think too, because I've seen them in a lot of anime before, except those are in very other like more intimate situations, and this one was just like, yo, you can have some too. And she's like, oh well, you bought it with your money, so I don't, that's for you to eat. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm sharing it with you. And they eat. And that was like for the first time in God knows how long that she had like an actual honest to God meal.
Yep.
And as it goes on, she does start to soften up to him. She gives him a little bit more freedom around the house. And by this point, he's not a prisoner anymore. But things start to go a little awry at her school when the teacher... Do you remember the reason why she became really concerned with her? I know one of the reasons was they saw her walking around with those bags.
But like the other reason why they became concerned is because like again, like the teacher tells her like they hadn't received their parents' payment for her school lunches yet.
There you go.
So like she wanted to meet him, but just because like she wanted to meet him because like there was something going on, or if it was something that she could help him with. So and that's where she becomes concerned, because like she we find out in the third and final novel. Her parents went away.
Yeah, they went away. Well, like in the second volume, we're under the assumption that the parents didn't love her, so they're like, yeah, we can leave her alone and like have no doubt about it. But no, her parents, as you say, passed on. Not a part of this area anymore.
Her parents went to an isekai world.
Yeah.
Right now, her parents are like the protagonists for like a show that's probably gonna be coming out this like winter or so.
Shadow the World with the Spouse I Hate. Hey, that's a long novel title for
There's the iconic long novel title right there. Trapped in another world with a spouse I hate.
Yeah.
Dude, christen that right now before someone takes the idea. Copyright it.
Yeah, I gotta copyright that right now.
I'm actually gonna search it up, see if that's like something that's like not already out there.
Oh my god, right? There's so many of them, like you never know.
Exactly. Like for safety's sake, I'm gonna check this out now before we like get surrounded by the Japanese police.
Anyway, so yeah, they do end up, as he said, because it's best I read it. Even though it was the beginning of this year when I first read it, because
that's quite a while.
Yeah, it was a recommendation from Akide's, which after it wasn't Goodnight Poon Poon, it was another book that guy wrote. But I told myself after Aki had recommended this one book that the writer of Poon Poon made, and how deeply that book disturbed me, I would never take another recommendation, another manga recommendation from Akideus as long as I live. But
nope, we're good.
Okay, awesome. But to my own personal bias, all she had to say is, "There's a manga written by Nishio Isin," and I'm all like, okay, I am breaking my vow never to take an Akideus manga recommendation ever again. Like, are you familiar with the guy who like writes Goodnight Poon Poon and stuff?
No.
He is very unagainst showing very personal and graphic rape for the sake of, storytelling. And it makes sense, but at the same time it's so personal and graphic that it comes off as creepy. And like, I know Poon Poon even had one where it was like a little girl trying to get with a teacher at one point.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. that is why I don't read anything from that author. I did try to read Ending World DDD Destruction. I don't know if you've heard of that one. It's a weird one about like aliens invading the planet, but it's like it's very slow.
No, I have not read it.
Yeah, I need to look it up, what the name is exactly. But that one was like, I think, the most easily accessible one from him, because there was nothing in there that disgusted me. But yeah, she recommended this. I bought the first volume, and by the time she recommended it, the third one had just come out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I remember I saw this was like a 2018 release.
Yeah. It does, huh? Oh, yeah.
It's 2018 release because like I think the final volume got released like spring or winter of 2018.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. 20. Oh wait, no, it's more. This is the afterthought. Yeah, 2018. The manga came out 2 years ago, or at least this volume came out 2 years ago. But it is.
Yeah, coming spring 2018, volume 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, spring. So never mind. No, yeah, because I got. She discovered. She did a video on this like either the ending of last year or the beginning of this year. Because I remember buying these not that long ago. And you didn't find any receipts in here?
No.
Okay, because that would be a good way of finding out when when exactly I bought it. Because I know I bought these two together and I bought this one separately. But yeah, anyway, the little girl does start to panic, and by the time she gets home, she has like a small meltdown.
I feel like we're starting to like. I feel we're just at this point. We're just starting to like do a vocal story at this point. Like, we're doing like a dramatization in our own voices.
We do that though.
Yeah.
Like we've done that before, and then you point out when we don't do that. It's like, oh, if you're wondering why we're being so all over the place with the story, I'm like, then what are we doing it with?
No, I'm just saying like the way you talked about it right now. It just
Oh.
feels like you're doing like an audio novel or like an audio drama. Like people can listen to like you're just like saying like the little girl panicked, and when she went home she had a little.
Excuse me for setting up a scene. Why am I turning this into a thing? It doesn't have to be a thing.
That's the funnier part.
Yeah. It's like why are you getting so defensive of it? I don't know.
You see you pull out the knife like Daddy, put the knife away.
No. Get in your closet. I'll find somebody to block you in. But anyway, sorry. She starts to feel just like really overwhelmed, and by this point, before that happens, the guy does some more snooping. Instead of going on the second layer of the house, of the first layer of the house, he goes to the second layer, where he finds her notebook, which is a notebook of rules that her parents told her to follow.
Mm-hmm. And like just formalities of what to say and everything, because the book had a bunch of phrases of like what she had to say to like be polite and everything.
Yeah.
You know, like just as it'd be like, I was like, always say good morning to somebody, always give thanks for food, stuff like that.
Which is one of the things that explains why she went off on him the way she did, because he broke formality. But also, he finds something incredibly interesting. Before anything, do not leave your video game laying around. Make sure you turn it off and put it away, and then focus on something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that explains what happened. She was following the rules list by list,
Yeah.
like order by order.
Because she's a little kid, so when she saw the book, she just pretty much thought like her parents like put everything like by order of importance.
Yeah,
hence
so
the erratic behavior.
yeah, so I bet in her head when she witnessed her friend get hit, of course she wanted to freak out, but all she can imagine in her head is her parents telling her to follow the list and the horrible things that might happen if she doesn't follow the list.
Mm-hmm.
And she turns off the game and then acts like the way she wanted to act, which is my best friend died. The only person in the world, probably by that point, the only person in the world she was able to trust. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like that's why the girl is the way she is. And the reason do they ever flat out tell you why she did it? Because why she decided to kidnap him?
Oh, because like one of the final rules that it said in her book and everything is like and she's like, and most importantly, never let people figure out who you really are.
Ah.
Because like that was like literally just like one of the last notes in like in her notebook that says like never let people find out who you are, who you really are.
Yeah, so her thinking like, oh no, he saw me follow these rules and he's gonna know I'm abused and stuff, so I'm gonna cleanse him in the only way that I know I can. Lock him in the closet because he's a bad person.
Yeah.
But
this makes me sad thinking about how because like the reason again thinking about why she like decided to like lock him in the closet in the first place, again it's a popular form of people to like abuse their children and everything. But for her, she just like for her, I can imagine in her experience, she thought like, oh, this is how people like normally punish other people by like locking them away, which she's not completely wrong.
Yeah, it's an incredibly dark like story, and I think it's like one of the biggest stories he's probably made. I mean, of course, Monogatari has a few of them. I mean, I'll never forget that story of the girl who was feeding her mother who wasn't even in the room.
That was sad.
Yeah, and then you just find out her body decayed. The movers came in and cleaned her room and accidentally took the bits of the body with them. Like, I was just like, okay, so Nishio Izen can go there. And again, there is that dark fact that there is a chance some of this might have happened, but you can't find any. I spent an entire day going as deep as I can. I even ended up with the fake name he gives you at the end of the story.
Oh yeah, dude, again, like that ending, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that. Well, we'll go into it a bit, but like that ending was one of the ones where I'm just like, this might be fictional, just because this played out way too perfectly. But I'm trying to. Here we go. Yugare.
I thought you said Yagiri.
Yeah, no, that's what it sounded like.
From Yagiri Pharmaceuticals.
Oh no.
She went on to become a pharmaceutical tycoon.
No. So yeah,
Yugure.
Oh, Yugare.
So if anything, like, have you ever thought about like that might have been just probably like a pen name or something?
Yeah, but a pen name for the girl?
For the editor, because a lot of editors go by like different pen names and everything.
Right.
So like remember, because a bunch of editors and like and not only authors but editors as well. It's popular for them to go like by pen names, just so like people don't like send them like hate mail or like track them down or just stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no doxing. You're right. I'll do a little bit more digging on it.
And then the one thing that that gets me to think why you might not be able to look for it as well. We'll explain this later, but like I'll go into my analysis after that. For later.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he ends up deciding to check the parents' room, where he finds the stiff corpses of the parents in mid-assault of each other. And from what he said, it looked like they have been there for a month or like a couple of weeks.
I think I don't remember, man. Cause that's when he got cause I think it was like a couple days. Just cause like when he asks you about like what happened, she tells him this is something that was recent. So they were recently deceased.
Yeah.
Hence why it still smelled like why it smelled musty, and it kind of makes the beginning of his kidnapping seem a little funny, because he says like then when he first gets into the house and he's like every house does have its smell, I guess.
Yeah. So you see in here that they basically just died by strangling each other, and it's a really disturbing like attention to detail, because you can see that the wife has to use a wire to strangle him, a wire from an outlet, while the husband just has the arms on the neck because he doesn't need that extra push to strangle a woman. And yeah, they just died mid-strangulation. And yeah, you said that it didn't smell bad, it was just kind of musty. Yeah, so it just recently happened. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about all the fish imagery in the book.
Yeah. This person had an obsession with fish.
Yeah. But it... Oh yeah, I don't remember that detail. He ends up showering with her, bathing with her at one point.
Mm-hmm. That's when he noticed all the abuse marks on her.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot her body's all marked up. Again, probably should have reread this online before coming here. But yeah, sorry, can you just take it over? My mind stopped.
Yeah. So when he figures out what happened to the parents and everything, that's when he starts to like get a hold of like how dire her situation was, because this whole time he actually thought that she was he thought that her parents were like on vacation, or like they're just away for a while.
Yeah. And it is not unpopular for parents who don't care about the kid to just have vacations away from the kid.
Yeah. Especially if you're a parent who was not ready to like was like pretty much like not there ready yet to like take care of the child, if anything. And so like once you figure out like the corpses and everything, that's really when like everything like starts being like when everything like starts hitting once. You start saying like how long has it been like this? Like how long has she had to go to school? How many weekends has she had to go by where like she couldn't eat at all because she couldn't get her school lunch?
Yeah. Well, think about it this way. She eats only 6 days. If I'm right, she eats only 6 days out of the week, right? Because there's 6 days of Japanese school.
No, he said like that was his time, but like apparently now they get 2 days off for the weekend.
Oh, okay. Like they're supposed to.
Like they're supposed to.
I always found that weird because that was in Nisekoi. Like that was mentioned in Nisekoi that they had school on Saturdays. So yeah, that's even worse. She has she has to go 2 days without anything.
And that's the thing also when she mentioned it's like yeah, like I used to have food at one point, but like when I didn't go to school, like I would get hungry, I would just eat the food. Like there was meat and there was like vegetables, so I would eat that. It's like, wait, you ate the raw meat? And this is like, how did you not get sick?
I forgot about that detail too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she ate raw meat.
Which
for all you perverts does not. Which for all you lollicons out there, do not look that up.
Yeah. No, God. So me not trying to be too perverted, can you just imagine how fucked up our bowels probably were? Yeah, like not getting the protein, not getting, not getting anything, and like having to eat raw meat and possibly spoiled vegetables. Yeah,
Well, remember it was in the refrigerator, so it wouldn't have a time to spoil it yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. But yeah, like she probably had to have very fucked up bowels up until the point, where he finds out that her parents died. He questions her about it. She ends up having that meltdown where she wants to just go off to sleep, and he tells her stories, stories that by this point were just ideas in his head, which included Monogatari, Zaragoto, Katanagatari, possibly Medaka Box, because he talked about a fighting one, right?
Yeah.
And Medaka Box is the only one I know that was like a fighting anime that you guys said he just decided to change the genre at one point.
Wait, is Medaka Box Nisio Isen? Medaka Box was by a woman, I know for sure.
I thought that was a Nisio Isen one.
No, I don't think it is. Let me double check, because I remember like the author was a woman.
Wait, that might not be the one.
Written by, oh no, never mind. It was the mangaka is a woman, written by Nisio Isen.
Yeah, it's like one of the few ones that were a manga first and then was, it was a manga. Like, he wrote it specifically to be a manga, not like a light novel.
Yeah, this is the... Medaka Box was the one, like, after reading after a while, I'm like, oh, where the fuck is this going?
Yeah.
It started as, like, a shonen battle, and then all of a sudden it just turned into, like, a shoujo romance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great. Now he's changed from, like, oh, I want to fight this girl to, like, goddamn, am I possibly in love with this girl? And I'm like, oh my god, this is just... What the hell? What's going on? Oh.
What?
I remember this one. Genshiken. Who was this again? the one that parodies Nisio Isen's works.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah, Genshiken.
I've never heard of that. What is that?
It's pretty much like it's like one of those like high school like club animes.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally like there's like this one little girl who does the impersonation of Hachikuji. Here, let me show you.
What is this? Sorry guys, I'm trying to reply to something real quick. I think it's just thing.
But yeah, and then like after this, like once Danny's here, we'll do our final analysis of it, just cause like we're pretty much there. But yeah, there's like this girl who like does like this little bit that Hachikuji does, and like this show just does a lot of like reference to Nisio Isen's Monogatari series. Dude, at one point she even like I think she dresses like Shinobu. When like she acts out the scene where like Shinobu's just in the corner. Oh, here we go. Oh no, wrong one.
Okay, I'm back.
Where are you?
So while he's digging that up, so he ends up telling her stories, and again, Hattori, is it okay if I refer to her as San? Hattori-san? Because I don't want to keep saying her same name. But anyway.
Hattori, yeah, that's an honorific. So she is She is an accomplished mangaka. So yeah,
Oh, okay, good. So yeah,
your weeb intuition is correct.
good. So like her art style is fucking incredible. Like that entire scene where it's just him describing to her all of this, telling her all the stories of of the books that would eventually make who he was. It's beautiful because there's a combination of very rough sketches as you see an outline of you just showing that she is being immersed into these stories.
Mm-hmm.
And it might also explain why sometimes in some of these stories there are characters that kind of remind you of her, which if what he is trying to convey is right, then this was the moment that turned him into an accomplished author. This is the one that gave him the voice that would then impress all these other editors.
Oh yeah. And then one of the things, like, and then finally I can get to my analysis that I wanted to say earlier. Like, this is not a final thought, by the way.
Yeah.
But well, after that, pretty much once he's done telling you the story, that's when he tells, like, yeah, after a while, like, the police did show up eventually because, like, apparently some people found suspicious of what happened, like, and apparently some people did see him get held at knife point.
Yeah, they did notice.
But, like, they just didn't bother to, like, do anything because they thought he was just going along with the wishes of a child.
Yeah, like, let's not forget that he was here for, like, a week. Like,
yeah.
Exactly a week.
Pretty much. And then, like, this is pretty much, like, what gets to me thinking why you won't find that many stories about this. Is because when he says when he got arrested and anything, like, there was a time when he got harassed by the police where they told him, like, he can't, where they would try to force him to move away or something because they didn't want this incident to go out.
Oh.
And this is what gave him the impression, like, I was like, I don't know who they were, but, like, the people who she lived with must have been some pretty important people.
Yeah.
Remember, they lived in the mansion and they had, like, cars and everything. So he's, like, thinking, like, the police were trying hard to, like, make sure, like, this story does not get out, just so, like, it doesn't leave a bad impression, because... Oh, my rib! There's the curse! No, but, like... Oh, I wonder what that was. But...
You probably pulled a muscle.
Most likely. But, like, this is, like, where he says... Like, he even mentioned it as well, like, where in Japanese society, it's frowned upon where, like, if somebody passes on like gossip or makes a family that has reputation look bad, just because at that point, like, it puts a stain on the family name and everything. Like, there's, like, the main family suffer the consequences, but anybody related to them also suffers kind of like a status, like kind of like a status shaming of anything, because they'd be like, oh, they're a part of that family that was involved in this situation.
Yeah, and they didn't want the little girl to kind of be known as, like, the child of the death family or something.
Yeah.
Or people being like, wait, she kidnapped a guy by knife point. She's just as dangerous as they were. We need to scorn her too.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally get it. So again, if this did happen, that probably explains why I can't find anything about it. And you gave me a clue that now instead of looking for Yugure as, like, an actual person, I should look for it as a pen name.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'll look into it a little bit more, because this story hit me to the point where a part of me did want this to be real, because it's such a fascinating story and a fascinating tale of how a writer was born. It's such a weird, similar to his works, it's a very weird way of character growth.
Yep.
And he of course explains that the police, of course, were like, they treated him as a suspect until it kind of came out that, yeah, the parents killed themselves, and this girl, with all the evidence we were able to gather up, it's just broken and thought that was how she should handle things, is kidnap this guy. But again, he's not pressing any charges. He doesn't want to press any charges. He just wants her to go to a good home, so he's fine.
And he says, like, after that, like, eventually he says, like, he found out that she was eventually they sent her to, like, a relative's house and everything as well.
Yeah.
And then here, this is what the show was parodying. You'll definitely find this little bit familiar. Not closed captioning, so unfortunately.
Yeah.
ミュージカルみたいに歌い上げんな。だっけ。失礼、噛みました。違う、わざとだ。噛みました。 やっぱそこまでやる
Is that the same voice? Did this come out after the Monogatari series?
Yes, this is like 2013.
This is possibly the same voice actress. It sounds too much like her.
Mm-hmm. It sounds so much like my like Hachikuji Otaku scene real life lolly.
Yes. So, what is this called again? I actually want to watch it.
Genshiken Nidaima.
Oh, okay.
Ni
Hopefully
Daima.
I can easily. Because if there's no closed captions, that means it's not on any major.
No, I'm just talking about the YouTube video. Like it's subbed and dubbed already.
Oh, okay. I'll still watch it subbed. I'm so used to not watching his stuff dubbed. Is that no? No, I don't think any of his works except for maybe Medaka Box. No, I don't even think Medaka Box is dubbed.
I think it was, but I don't know. I remember.
Well, it's a Sentai dub anyway, so he knows it's gonna suck. I'm sorry, Sentai. You have made 2 good dubs.
Yeah, but this is the show's name, and I think it has like 3 seasons.
Okay. 2013 to 27. Oh no, that's the
Manga.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, skipping on to years later, we have in fact gotten to the point that we, as his fans, are familiar with. He's an established manga author, but he was right now in the middle of the process of swapping editors.
Yeah, because it's like his editor that he had at the time, like she was gonna get married and everything,
Yeah.
and so like it's just they weren't gonna have enough time for him anymore to like be his like main editor. So he was gonna hand him off to like an aspiring editor that she knew would be able to be up to the task for him as well and stuff like that.
And it's not even like, it wasn't even really that she was aspiring. She was like the talk of the town.
Yeah.
She was like, she's super young. She just came into the game like a year or a few months ago. And she is amazing. And we know you guys are going to get along. And again, him being the closed off and scared person he is, he was like, well, if I'm going to meet her, I need you to be here so I'm not alone. But of course the editor couldn't make it in time before the actual editor came. And the editor, as we've mentioned earlier, has the peculiar name of Yuguri. Yugure.
Yeah.
Yagari.
Because like if you keep saying that, I'm just gonna keep thinking of Yagiri Pharmaceuticals.
No one can think of that.
That sister was like that sister was I have a weak spot for that sister.
Wait, what is this again? Yagari Pharmaceuticals?
Mm-hmm.
What's that from?
Durarara.
Why was I thinking of fucking Ajin? I was thinking of Ajin. And yes, that sister was woof, even though she was a better fucker.
Yes, yes. You just took the words. You just took everything I was gonna say. So I'll just agree.
But yeah, he ends up meeting her, and she is drawn in a way to look enough like you, but at the same time, it is up to you. That is this you? And the final page is just flat out like, I didn't want to say nice to meet you. It was nice to see you again. I think that's how he ended it.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that you was able to have a successful enough life, become an editor, and somehow circle around to be his editor.
Yep.
And again, because my 2 theories on this story is, one, this really did happen. And the reason why we can't find anything about it is he said that they didn't want this going out to the media. 2, this is a story idea that him and his editor came up with. So,
and he just self-inserted himself into.
Yeah, he self-inserted himself into it and like self-inserted his editor, but like just changed the name. But again, there's just this overlining beauty and personal touch put into it that it is really hard to decide, did this really happen? Did this not happen? Did he make this up? Like, you know, it gave me, it really did kind of me, which is why I shit you not, I spent an entire day trying to look for any, like any proof of this. I even tried to comb over the mangas a few times to see if I can find the prefecture that they were in. If they were in a prefecture at all, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I couldn't find anything on it.
He really covered his faces and everything because he doesn't mention any specific locations or stuff like that as well.
Yeah, that's right. I tried cities. And then I'm like, well, fuck it, let's look for the prefectures. And I combed through prefectures that might have matched the look, but I think he just made a fictional block. Like he himself covered details of this. So it was up to the manga artist to just make a city block that did not look like an actual Japanese city block. Like, no way for you to be like, wait, this is in this city or this is in this prefecture. I know where this is at.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's a story that really did hit me hard. It was beautiful. I have like a black eye and my face is all swollen. But it really did hit me hard. And when if I do eventually see Akidus again, I will fucking hug her and say thank you for telling me to read this story. This is fucking amazing. But I don't want to see any anime adaptation of this. I don't want to see any form of adaptation of this. This needs to stay a manga. I don't think I can handle an anime of it.
With the voices and everything.
Yeah. And the music, because remember, 70% of a sad anime scene is the music.
Yep.
Like, someone like played the Aaron's mom's death in Attack on Titan, but they took the music out, and you find it sad. True, you don't cry because you don't have the music swelling up and manipulating you.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna look up that scene just so we can get that effect of anything.
No, don't make me cry. That or like play one of the songs of Made in Abyss. That one makes me cry every time I listen to it. You know which one it is.
I know.
So anyway, we'll be moving into. Is there anything else? You said you had a theory, right? Oh, you already gave me the theory.
Yeah, pretty much like the reason why it's hard to figure out why if this is real or not is because like, again the family was a family of like high influence and everything, so it would make sense why the police would want to keep him hushed about the details of the story and everything as well. And again, going over the story and everything, there were moments where I was thinking, like, where he pretty much pointed it out as well, where, like, I was just thinking, like, dude, why haven't you called the police, or, like, why haven't you tried escaping? It's like, you're just at this point, you're just sticking around for the thrill of it.
Yeah.
And I have problems with this, but at the same time, it's making for a really interesting story, so I'm okay with it for right now.
Yeah, no, because, like, literally all of the solutions to escape are in the first volume.
Yep.
So, like, literally you would only maybe have, like, a 50-page story before he realized she locked me in the house. I'm not locked in the house, but...
Well, like the Watchmen thing is like, I'm not locked in here with you, you're all locked in here with me.
Well, remember that, back when we announced... Huh?
Minutemen, that's the movie, sorry.
No, you're right. Minutemen was the original name, but then they became the Watchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was the Watchmen with Rorschach, where it's just like, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me, after he, like, threw grease on the dude's face.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, that was even a joke we made, because you were making fun of me for, like, being like, oh, this is Danny's fantasy, and I'm like, yeah, I'd be in the closet like, I am not your prisoner, you're my prisoner. But, like, again, it really is just, like, all you have to do is lift up the closet door, you have your phone, you can call the police, but now you're just kind of like, I want to know where this is going.
Yeah.
And the deeper he goes into it, the more you're like, yeah, don't cut this off until you see a for sure ending, because I'll by this point will be mad at you for just leaving it like that.
I know. And you know what, reading the story and everything, it's like, for me, it does seem outlandish of anything, but what I love about a story is that, especially when it comes about a recounting of a story or anything, is that hint that this just could have been possible of anything. And it gives a really good reason why it's hard to find like any like news articles or anything as well, because again, he tells them, yeah, this is a rich family, like in Japanese, he explains how like in Japanese society it's frowned upon to like spread gossip about like somebody with like who has like more status and reputation than you. And like, if you do have enough influence, like authorities will back you, will back up that family with influence and stuff like that as well.
Oh, totally. We've seen enough anime where like the cops would have become the bad. Well, the cops became just as much as the bad guy as like the family trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the thing I liked is there is a level of groundedness to it, but at the same time, there's a lot of outlandish things that happen in it too. Again, like I said, the main thing that kind of makes me suspect this story is fake is the fact that he became his editor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that is too perfect of an ending that I'm like, did this happen? What are the chances of this happening in real life? Maybe not if, I don't know. Like, there's so many editors in Japan that it is a very low chance of them ever meeting again, even if she did become an editor.
Yeah.
But
like, yeah, that's something that always always like left me when I'm like, dang, this is a little too much of a fairy tale ending.
yeah. Well, at least it was she became my editor and nothing like them falling in love afterward, because there's a giant age difference between them. Well, yeah, again.
No, yeah, because like the way he described her in, like she sounds like she might be like in her late teens, like early adulthood.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine she probably is maybe a few years older than he was when he got kidnapped.
Mm-hmm. So like probably 21 or 22.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I can totally imagine that. But I know the writer himself is still like in his 40s now.
Yeah.
And this story was like in 26. The manga was in 2016. God knows when he actually wrote the novel this was inspired by.
Mm-hmm. Because, let's figure it out.
Let's see.
Because he did say it was 10 years ago. Oh, God damn it. No Siri.
Did he say it was 10 years ago?
Yeah, in the manga, he's like, after a while, he's like, it's been 10 years.
Oh, shit.
When he finishes it.
So this is 2016.
No, but remember, this is the manga, like, recounting what he says in the light novel.
Oh, okay.
So let's see.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, while he's doing that, we'll go into my final
He's
thought.
38 years old.
Oh, fuck. That was 18 years ago. I'm very much alive. We were very much alive when that happened. Let's see. 18 minus 25. That is... I'm bad at math.
That's 7.
7 years? So I was 7 when that happened. And you were 3? Or
22, 4 years old now.
you were 4?
I would have been 4 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm 22 now.
Oh, yeah, so they are way older than us. Well, if I was 7, then you was probably within maybe a few years older than me.
There it is.
Really? That's the light novel?
No, I'm just saying like there's the image I was like we're trying to remember from when he was describing like everything else.
That's my here's my problem with the Zeragoto anime. The artist who does the art for the Zeragoto light novel is Take, who is also the same artist from Katana Gatari. I love that fucking art style, and my problem with this OVA adaptation is they got the artist who did the Monogatari designs to rewrite the designs, and I'm like, no! Take had such a beautiful look!
I see what you mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember. Wait, were they,
We were at Aki Fest when they
yeah,
announced it.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, because what's his name? Oh god, actually there might be a high chance that might be a thing.
Ooh, I'm interested already.
The CEO. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely on a list of things we need to watch. But it's like I think it's like 40-minute episodes that came out like monthly, so it ended not that long ago.
Oh, this looks pretty. Yes, yes.
But from what I got, which scares me now.
That makes sense now.
What?
I saw this Nendoroid.
And didn't know what it was?
No, I felt it was familiar looking, but I don't know where I saw this.
If they have a ninja up, I want it because I love her look.
I can check it out. What's her name?
Oh fuck, I forgot. I haven't seen it. I didn't read far enough into the book because I read a little bit of the light novel. But anyway, that's actually one thing that kind of scares me now. Because if you remember at Aki Fest, the CEO of Shaft was like, "Oh, we'd love to adapt every."
Oh, Kobutai.
Yeah, he's like, we'd love to adapt every Nisio Isin story, and I'm like, now I'm just like, don't touch this, don't touch this one. Like, you already got beaten by White Fox, I think, to Zodiac War. Whoever made that one.
That was White Fox.
Yeah, that one we got to do too. I fucking love Zodiac War.
Jimmy Tyson.
Yeah, Jimmy Tyson. Oh, I love that one so much. The ending was so good. Anyway, so my final thoughts to this story is this is fucking beautiful. This is by far.
Yeah. So yeah, it's there. So if you want it up for grabs, it's there.
Holy shit, that's cheap for an Android. That's really cheap. Because again, she was hard to find, but I did spend like fucking $68 on my Segumi.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that.
Because she was like $100 at Anime Expo.
Really?
Yeah, and it was only her. Like the Onodera and like the other girls, they were like Onodera and Shitogi were 60, but then Takibana was like 300, and Tsugumi was like 300, and I think that's only because by that point they had already gone out of pick.
Fuck.
It was a lot,
Mhm.
and but
Let's see how much it's on eBay. But continue.
Oh, maybe. Maybe that person just could have been a ripoff artist. Anyway, the story's fucking beautiful. As you,
76.
that's not bad on eBay. On that's again, I paid like 68 for it. So.
You got a bargain for it.
Yeah, and she's so adorable because like remember how we found out that like one of the Nindroids you gave me was like a bootleg, a really fucking good bootleg though. I gotta give it to them for that. But I'm like, look, I got a Nindroid super cheap not that long ago. Can you check if there's any Nisokoi bootlegs? And he checked and he's like, no, there's no bootlegs of them. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm just scared now. But one of the things that they knew that the one you gave me wasn't legit was she didn't have the Conco sticker.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, okay.
They call it a cobble sticker.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't have the sticker for that. And I'm like, oh, well, still looks fucking good. But yeah, man, I still remember when those things came out and they were like super cheap.
The fuck, there's an Araragi one?
And he is 78, Jesus Christ. It's fucking adorable though. Oh, and he has the vampire sword.
Oh,
Aw.
oh, that's why, because it pairs up with the Senjugahara one. Oh, and the Hachikuji one as well.
Oh god, they gave him the erect one too. The little hair's all red. So
that hair was a euphemism for everything.
it was everything, yeah. But you know, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of fucking Nishio Isin, and when I found out that this was a manga of his, despite the fact it was Aki Dearest recommending it to me, which I said I would never take a recommendation manga-wise from her, anime is fine. I had to buy this, and again, I was enthralled in the story by the time he got kidnapped, I was all in the story. I love the art style it takes. I love just the complete ambiguity it has. Like, again, the fact that me and Lewis for this whole review has just been like, well, here's reasons have been real, here's reasons why we can't find anything in it, but also here's reasons why we kind of suspect it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that this manga could kind of inspire those talks amongst people, I also think it is a very good thing to read if you are inspiring to become a writer, because you will then recognize your problem if, like me, like again, I realized my writing wasn't the best, and once he realized, you know, there's a difference between a storyteller and a liar, I realized, oh, that's me. I don't feel that I have a specific voice yet, and I don't know if I found it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'll write, I'll see how other people take it, but if they do say that it feels like this is voiceless, then I'll have to figure out what to do. But it is a beautiful story from beginning to end. The art is incredible. I love the design of you, because it's fucking adorable little lolly. And yeah, in the end, I cannot recommend this enough. This is, now that I have the mangas back, I'm gonna be shoving this to other people I know, basically saying, fucking read this. Because after I finished these, I knew these are gonna be on Animazing, so you got them almost immediately. Been here for what, like 3 months already?
Just because we never got around to making the show for it.
Yeah. Oh, dude. February, March, April, May, June. Ooh, it's been 5 months. because like we were supposed to do it the week after Aelita came out, and I'm like, oh fuck it, let's just do Aelita since you saw it, and we just never went back to
I
it.
know, because like after that I just went like, oh, and like it's Lewis's turn, so then I chose something, and then like you kind of forgot about it and like chose something else.
Yep, and then we went into the Dorada month, which that really kind of fucked us up. But yeah, I'm glad we did get to it. And again, I can't recommend this enough, and that's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn.
So for me, for this it's like, you know, I found it pretty. Not just like the little gumball thing that he did when they were trying to like cut through the line and everything. So I was like, this is Prax 23 coming in with a review of the new movie and everything. So the Imperfect Girl anime, I found it really nice and everything. There were some things that made me, but I found it really inspiring that the director decided to cut out all the main characters and replace them with female characters instead, including the robot.
Oh yeah. I get it. I was like, where are you going with it? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's when they're trying to get people to cut the line.
But no, in all seriousness though, when I read this book, first time like a couple months ago, and then like recently last night through like lo-fi hip hop, dude, the music just made this a little bit more surreal. I was like, Jesus Christ, like why is it just like sad nigga hours like song? I'm like, this is kind of making this kind of a little bit more emotional for me now.
Yeah. What, you're thinking of the music along with this?
Yeah, when I was listening to the music along with it last night, I was like, this is kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this. So I was pretty much just reading it along again, like going back through everything. I was like going through like what Nisio Isan was like saying along the whole story and everything. I really found it kind of captivating, to be honest. For me, I kind of like for me, I was just treating it like I was treating it as like as a special episode of Criminal Minds, Japan edition. And I was like, oh, you know, I can kind of see this happening as well, but at the same time, it's like some things seem outlandish. But let's just like Nisio Isan was like the whole Temptress kidnapping. It's like, all right, but let's see where this goes.
Yeah, really. Like again, you even said that you were kind of getting bad, and then you're like, yeah, well, it's true. I do kind of want to see where it goes.
Yeah. So going through the whole book, going through all the 3 volumes and everything, like I didn't really find like a taxing read or anything. Like I just blew through those books fast.
Oh yeah. And it also kind of helps at a good portion, like images, but there are parts where she just threw in an entire page of the light novel with very little art in it.
Yep. And a lot of it as well is like the visuals were pretty nice and everything. I really like this mangaka as well because, like you said, she has a really nice art style and everything. Like how she makes like all the expressions for the characters, the designs and everything. I really like how the book came out as well. And like Nisio Isan is like, how can I describe him?
What?
It's not like he looks like a protagonist, but rather like it really just helps to see him more. Like it's just this is something that's really hard when it comes to like making like the protagonist of a novel, but he legit actually just an everyday like Japanese person.
Yeah, like he looks like a character that would be in the background.
Exactly. And which is really hard to do because like everybody like whenever they try to portray like everyday like people, like for example Subaru from ReZero or Kazuma from freaking from Konosuba, there you go, I was blanking on that for a second. Or even what was it called? There's a really good one that I thought. Oh, and like all those other like shonen animes like Card Fight Vanguard or like Yu-Gi-Oh! We're like, yeah, I'm just a regular everyday Japanese student. Like you just see them with like their crazy hairstyles and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like this actually did a really good job of actually making them look like an everyday like citizen.
Yeah. The only person who really does have a very main character-y look is you, but that's very intentional.
Yeah, because she's pretty much the focus of the story and what's going on. And again, like you mentioned and everything, like Simone, like it's really inspirational. Like if you're like one of those people who's like out there, who's like trying to become a content creator, trying to make stories, or even just trying to get like your foot off like an artist block or something like that as well, or just a block in general. It's a really good book to kind of get you off your feet, if anything, just because, again, this is here comes Lewis with this counseling again, because this is what I'm working for.
Yep.
Like, if you have to lose hope in like what you're pursuing and everything, just know that you're not alone when it comes to that as well. Like many people, especially like great artists and everything, like people who are famous for what they do now, like they've hit that slump in their life at one or multiple points in their life as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that always got them out is pretty much just persevering at that point. And this is one advice that a professor told me, that like I go by a lot whenever I get into slumps, just when it comes to assignments and everything. If you feel like at one point you just have trouble putting everything into words, just write whatever comes to your mind and then like organize it later on, because like what he told me, if anything, applies for both essays and like on the oral in general. If you're having trouble like kind of like thinking about how you're gonna start an essay or how you're gonna begin a story, he says, just put whatever goes onto your mind and just kind of like you put it, just bleh, just throw up all the words onto the paper and everything.
Yeah.
Expect it to be a hot mess, because at that point it's like he told me and everything, like he told every student in his class. He says like at that point it's like the idea's there, you just haven't had the chance to refine it yet. So rather than just waste time just sitting there and staring at an empty screen, just start writing whatever comes to mind and everything. And like don't be afraid of like any grammatical errors or anything. Just worry about that later.
Yeah, that's what your editor to worry about.
Exactly. So he says like just think what's on your mind right now, and then afterwards take your time to actually organize it and actually feel out like, okay, like maybe this is not necessary, or maybe I could just tweak this a little bit.
Yeah.
Because at that point, like that's where actually when you start getting the gears to start turning again. Because the worst thing that you can do when trying to write an essay and when not knowing how to start it is just staring at a blank page the whole time, and then like afterwards just saying like, I'll do it the next day.
Yeah.
So for all of you guys who are pretty much struggling with the content creation, just throw up all the words that are in your mind. It helps out a lot. It really gets the gears, like it really starts the gears on turning and everything as well. And more importantly, you're actually starting to do some work, so that you're not actually wasting time. And other than that, I like this book a lot.
Yeah, I knew you would. And it's totally not because I'm pretty sure me and you have a bias towards this creator.
No, I legit just like, even if it wasn't for Benicio Easton, I still found it like as an entertaining story.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, because I don't have a bias either. My bias only came in because I'm like, oh, I have no idea what this manga's about, but I see Nisa Easton's name on it. Grab. Like, that's the only point where my bias kept in. Like, I had no rational thought. I just got it. So, yeah. Anyway, that was our show. What are we going to do next week?
I've been preparing a couple lists and anything. I feel like if anything, it's been a while since we've done anything like anything fantasy, but rather than just like fighting, I decided to go something like a shoujo fantasy. So for like the next series the next TV show that I am planning for, and I really want you to watch, is a show. I'll just say the Japanese name first before you say it. It's called Mahotsukai no Yome.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Which is in English, it's called The Ancient Magus's Bride.
Oh, okay. And one of those anime. See, no wonder you're like, oh, I want to stretch it out a bit more. Yeah, no, this is what I'm totally all in for. It's one of those ones, I see the Blu-ray at Best Buy and I'm like, why haven't I watched this yet? I'll start watching it today, fuck it. How long is it, 24 episodes?
24 episodes, yeah.
Okay. So I will. It's funny, it's sadly...
What was the studio who made it, but...
I forget the studio. I know that the people who put it out is Seven Seas Press, which is a company I tend to ignore because a couple of the mangas I read from them were bad. But I can't say that anymore because they're putting out Made in Abyss.
Yep.
Even though they are doing some really odd things, were then being gender specific with Nanachi.
Wit Studio.
Oh.
Studio Wit, yeah. That's the studio who made the televised version, not the pilot tape, not the pilot ones.
Oh.
Because like that was done by a different studio. I remember because I know that was like a 3-episode OVA before it became a televised series.
Yeah.
But Wit Studio is the one that's doing the televised series.
Yeah, Wit Studio must be happy since they don't have to worry about people hounding them for Attack on Titan anymore. They're like, we're giving it to you guys. Yeah, you go.
Dude, that video, I always laugh at that one video still.
That is so quotable. Even when I haven't seen it in forever, I'll still like think of things. Like when I saw like a Bones logo, all I could think about is, you want to fight, old man? I'll teach you how to animate a fight. And then like, it's Gundam's 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
So I can think about, okay, well, what if there's giant machines that look like people, and then we put the people inside those giant machines, those are just Gundams again. No.
No, and I think the one that always like makes me laugh the most is how they personified Shaft. Like as the guy who's awake the whole time, it's like I see girls and their necks, they bend at unreasonable angles, and there's fan service.
I also it's also like I see girls with necks, and they keep twisting them, and then it's all like, well, who do we get to direct it? Oh, I got a guy. Does his name rhyme with Nakayumi Yimbo? No. And then at the end, it's like, so we need an anime that is also based out of Type Moon with cute girls and giant robots that is also directed by the guy. I'm just like, oh god. Again, if you guys have no idea what we're talking about Gigguk's video if anime studios were real, if anime studios are people, and it is fucking hilarious. It's like one of the most quotable videos I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And then, even though now it's like really dated,
yep,
because it has the Crunchyroll and Funimation thing in it, where it's just
like right now, it's kind of like.
Oh yeah, they broke up.
Yeah.
Like some people are saying some of the Funimation stuff is being pulled from there. Funimation has gone back to putting subs and dubs back on their website instead of just the dubs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that video's dated now. No, you can have this one. No, you can have this one. No, I love you more. I love you more. Get a room. Get out of here, Daisuke.
Oh, dude, I remember that. Dude, even Daisuke's kind of like extinct now.
Yeah, I haven't heard. The last time I heard of Daisuke was One Punch Man.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like the last time I ever saw Daisuke. Yeah, it's a very dated video now. But it's funny. And again, this was back in the time where there was not an Attack on Titan Season 2.
Exactly.
So having Wit Studio be in a drunken mess because of the pressure of Attack on Titan, it's now a little dated because not only did we have Season 2, but we have like... we're on part 2 of Season 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also... I was never really much of a fan of this guy, but it's a shame that it happened. We will give our respects to Etika as well.
Who? Oh yeah, that's right!
Yeah, I saw that. There's a video that people were saying, oh, he made a video talking about suicide, and I'm like, this isn't him talking about suicide, this is his final letter.
Yeah.
Like, there's a part where he flat out says, I'm never going to see how Attack on Titan ended, and I'm like, this isn't him talking about suicide, he is on his way to do it. Should have been someone there to stop him, but again... I hope he's in a better place now, and, sadly, they couldn't give him the help he obviously needed. Mm-hmm. So, again, just, if you have any mental issues, people, seek help. There's nothing wrong with seeking help. You will find someone who will understand you. Anyway, sorry for that downer note. I just didn't want to bring it up during the review because the story was down enough already.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
dude, that's true. There's a lot that's happened since I last saw you.
Oh yeah, a ton. Like all of the anime skits. We're getting a 7 Deadly Sins Season 3, animated by Studio Dean.
Oh, and then like right now, my current obsession right now is with Enden Shobutai, which is like Fire Force.
I know a lot of people are talking about Fire Force right now. I gotta get on that. It was all over at Anime Expo, like on the show floor.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta get into Fire Force, Demon Slayer. Fuck, there's a lot of good anime I gotta watch.
Which, by the way, going back to like the cosplay updates and everything, I decided to scrap the Shield Hero one just because like while I was doing the budget, that shit was gonna be expensive as hell.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just focusing on Fire Force. So you're gonna be the captain of the Fire Force.
Oh no!
That's the project I've been working on this whole time.
Oh no! Heavy fireman uniforms!
Don't worry, you're not gonna be wearing the coat all the time. You're just gonna be wearing the pants with suspenders unless someone wants to take a picture. Then that's when I'll give you the coat.
Yeah, well, it's between the end of August and the beginning of September, so hopefully it won't be that bad.
I actually have an insulated coat here that firemen use. So I'll let you be the judge.
Anyway,
or did my dad take it off?
Anyway, I gotta get going soon, guys. Anyway, I'm Danny.
I'm the Squatcha! Mate Rui!
We'll get it down one day, because I was messing up too. And we will see you next time.
I have personality disorder.
Oh no.